Greetings and salutations. This is the voice of Loquacious of Herd, bringing you his afterthoughts on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 7, Episode 20, titled A Health of Information. I heartily suggest that you find and watch the episode itself, sans commentary, before proceeding with either this Afterthoughts review or viewing my full reaction, which is hosted at the link in the description. Please support the official release. Be warned, this Afterthoughts review will contain spoilers for the episode itself. With that out of the way, on to the review. We jump right into the action, with Fluttershy and Zecora off gathering up some crisscross moss from a tree-shrouded wetland to help feed some visiting oxen. It's very nice to see Zecora again. Back-to-back episodes with our favorite zebra is quite pleasant. Zecora falling into the mossy lake? A little less pleasant, though still adorable in a wet mane sort of way. Zecora being doused by a puff of pollen from a nearby floating flower. Is this going to be a problem?
Honestly, it's hard to tell, but suddenly, I don't feel so well.
Yeah, those orange spots do look worrisome, and they don't go with Zecora's color scheme at all. So, a visit to the doctor to find out the nature of this, allergy? Illness? Affliction? What is it, Doc?
I'm afraid you have a very rare disease called swamp fever.
Okay, so does Zecora know what to do about this disease?
Tell me, doctor, what should I do? I've never heard of swamp fever, mind you.
Unfortunately, very little is known about the disease, except, of course, its symptoms. Change of coat, coughing bubbles, shock sneezing, confusion, and the last stage, the afflicted turn into the very trees that drop the disease-spreading flower.
What? Sweet Celestia, that's horrifying! I mean, nature can be kind of scary if you look closely at life's myriad processes. Really, that cordyceps exists in our world is a nightmare-inducing Cronenbergian horror, but at least those fungi just work on certain insects. A tree-sized version that works on higher life forms like mammals? I repeat, Sweet Celestia, that's horrifying! So, prognosis?
A cure has yet to be discovered. I'm sorry, Zecora. It's a lot to take in.
That's dark. There are horror movies that don't get that dark. Have I accidentally strayed into some grimdark fan work? Is this really the actual episode? Well, looks like it is. I suspect that the situation will wind up getting resolved prior to full-on transformation, but still, yeesh, the implications are shuddersome. Were all of those trees around that pool once birds and beasts? Were any of them once ponies? Those plants are the sort of biohazard that calls for some clear-cutting and a liberal application of arcane fire. Zecora seems resigned to the terminal illness she has been diagnosed with, an illness that directly resulted from Zecora helping out Fluttershy. But Fluttershy?
Fluttershy, you are not to blame. These things happen all the same.
I refuse to accept that. There has to be some pony who can help you.
Oh, there's a healer of legend who never would fail. But I only know her from ancient folk tales. Mystical and masked, she came in the night and cured everything from hoof cough to fur blight. What became of the healer, no pony knows, for she disappeared ages and ages ago.
The mystical mask, of course!
Kudos to Flutters for her take-charge attitude and refusal to give up. Also, this mystical mask pony is clearly another of those legendary heroes of ancient Equestria, some of whose stories we got back in Campfire Tales. How many of these legends are going to make an appearance this season? Regardless, Fluttershy now has her quest: track down the mystical mask, or whatever remains of her teachings, and find a cure for Zecora. Fluttershy solicits Twilight's help in the resulting research project, and Fluttershy is positively driven in pursuit of the information needed to heal their friendly neighborhood zebra. So much so that Flutters is driving herself to exhaustion and forgetting to sleep to power through this as fast as possible. On the one hoof, I don't blame her. I'm sure Fluttershy feels guilt for Zecora's predicament regardless of Zecora's reassurances that Flutters isn't herself to blame. She won't rest until Zecora is healed. On the other hoof, I also agree with Twilight's response.
I understand how you feel, but I still think we'd have more luck if we tried again in the morning. Just promise me you'll take a break soon.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Fluttershy.
Yeah, that yellow Pegasus isn't going to stop until she collapses. Still, her dedication bears fruit. Flutters finds some valuable information, namely that the mystical mask is in fact Mage Meadowbrook. Really? As in the Eastern Unicorn Sorceress who possessed 9 enchanted items, as Twilight recounts back in the Cutie map? Cool! So it's off to find Meadowbrook's old town. But first, to check in on Zecora and fill her in on their progress. How are Zecora's symptoms progressing?
That's marvelous, Fluttershy. I am quite impressed. While you're gone on your journey, I'll try not to be worried.
Zecora's not rhyming. Things are worse than we thought. Off to the bayou in search of Meadowbrook's old treehouse. It's a nice treehouse, and the design of the largely abandoned swamp community is very swampland Cajun Creole, as is the caretaker. Wait, there's a caretaker?
Y'all can stop screaming now. Didn't mean to scare you. I do that a lot.
Scare ponies or rock creepily in the dark?
Well, both, I suppose. Name's Cattail. Pleased to meet you.
I like Cattail. As one of Meadowbrook's however many times great-grandchildren, he's a friendly, laid-back fellow who's up for helping Fluttershy and Twilight hunt for a cure for swamp fever. So it's off to Meadowbrook's library, both shelves of it, and a thrilling hunt through her diaries. You know, back in the Cutie map, when Twilight described Meadowbrook as an Eastern Unicorn, I was kind of expecting something a bit more like Miss Main, you know, Far Eastern Sorceress, less Voodoo Healer Queen of the Bayou. Also, I was expecting a unicorn. But okay, Earth Pony it is. Really, this isn't the first time Twilight's offhand comments or assumptions have misled us. Turns out that swamp fever was a problem back in the olden pony times, and Meadowbrook was seeking a cure.
With Mother sick, I didn't think I'd ever find a cure. But staring at those cursed flowers today, I saw something. Flash bees! I realized the flower's poison didn't affect the flash bees, and if they were immune to swamp fever, their honey could be the cure.
While not what I expected, I do like Meadowbrook's character and design. The emerging story is strangely thrilling, or perhaps not so strangely thrilling, considering that it is a matter of life and death, and a most horrible death at that. But now the ponies know where the cure can, hopefully, be found.
So all we have to do is find those aggressive flash bees and get them to give us their honey. Of course, it doesn't say how she did that. What? Is my mane messy? I know I haven't slept in a while, but... Oh no! I've caught swamp fever!
Look, it's an obvious joke, as the whole Fluttershy would like to be a tree thing has been going since, well...
When we get to Appaloosa, you think we'll have to carry that heavy tree all the way from the train to the orchard? What tree? You mean Bloomberg?
No. Fluttershy.
Fluttershy's not a tree, silly.
What's going on?
Rainbow Dash thinks Fluttershy's a tree. I do not think she's a tree. I was
Did you say she was a tree?
No. Well, yes, but not exactly.
You know, she's not a tree, right?
She's not a tree, Dashy. I'd like to be a tree.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
Nevertheless, I'm quite sure that this swamp fever contagion tree is not at all the sort of tree Fluttershy would like to be. And this situation is dire. Fluttershy slaps protective masks on Twilight and Cattail to help protect them from the fever, but Fluttershy refuses to rest before going up against the Flash Bees. I'm not sure if it's her exhaustion, but Flutter's interactions with the Flash Bees go... well...
Hello, Flash Bees. I was hoping I could get some of your honey. Oh, I see. You don't let others have any, well, I'm sorry, but I really need it. I didn't want it to have to come to this, but I'll just have to use the stare. You really are aggressive. Oh dear.
Poorly. Seems like insects are unusually difficult for Fluttershy to affect with her whole commune with the beasts talent. I recall that she had difficulties with a hive of normal bees back in It's Not Easy Being Breezy's. Well, after a bit of enforced rest, the ponies hit upon the proper solution, namely Meadowbrook's eponymous mask. And take 2 of hive raiding goes much better. The honey proves efficacious, and soon Flutters is cured and at Zikora's side.
I think she's cured now, Fluttershy.
Oh, I do feel fine. And this honey is divine.
Oh, you're rhyming again. Welcome back, my friend.
In addition to the whole saving ponykind from turning into a forest of trees of plague and death, which I am shocked to realize is a thing that happens in My Little Pony, Fluttershy has learned a valuable lesson about not overexerting herself. And I agree, the need for self-care while one is helping others is a valuable lesson to learn, even if the severity of the stakes in this particular instance kind of renders that aspect of this episode a definite B-plot. Still, very well done. And we've learned of another legend of Equestria. We saw Flutters being awesome, met a new friend, and saved an old friend. All in all, a good day's episode. If you wish to see my full reaction to My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 7, Episode 20, titled A Health of Information, the link, as I mentioned earlier, is in the description. Feel free to leave any comments or likes for that reaction here on this Afterthought review. And until next time, as always, kindly remember, y'all are awesome. Stay awesome.